And Snipe, you can share screen. I'm gonna mute
All
myself.
right. All right. Thank you. Are you guys CTOS? All right. So the first one I saw was Peloton. So I'm uh I'm gonna try that one first. So first of all, I'm gonna clear the drawings. All right. So first of all, when I'm charting any levels on any of these stocks, I always like going on the larger time frame and moving myself down to the smaller time frames. All right. So the first time frame I'd like to go over is the 3-year weekly, and I would just pick out clear support and resistance levels, right? And there's two ways you could do this. You could either do it with the candlesticks, or you could do it with line. There's like a line graph or something where you could, instead of using the candles, you could be using those. Let me see those real quick. All right, here it would be line, and you would just chart like the tops and the lows. It makes it easier to chart. So you just take off the EMAs. You would take off the EMA so that you could see the lines more clear, and then you would just pick out the top, pick out the lows. It would be more easier to start if you're just starting out, as like, starting out to trade, right? But if you're getting more experienced, I think also using the candlesticks it's gonna be a lot more helpful, just so that you could see the candlesticks and understand price action more clear. So some levels that you want to do are the clear ones. So something like this, the high of it is $139.75. So you would just put that out real quick. Just the clear ones, you would start off with whatever your eye sees really quick, right? So um, next we have this high right here as well, 126.74, right? Next we also have this low very clear. Just put the ones you see very clear at first, and then you could start, moving in depth about them. All right. Next is this high right here as well, 119.12. You also have, all right, so these are very clear. You could also put this low right here, 135.03. Just try to edit the property and put the price level on the price you saw. That way it's as accurate as possible. And also this low right here, 123.02. No, that's not 109 is the level. All right. Then after you're finished with the weekly and you have the levels that you want, you would move on to the daily time frame. And then you would pick out levels that you did not, or levels that you missed. So I missed this level right here, these two red candles. That's 98.61. So what you do when you start off with the weekly is that you're zooming onto the larger picture, and then you start going down and zooming into the smaller time frames until you get to the 1 hour. All right. So you would start off with the weekly, you get the entire big picture, and then you would start zooming into those candles and getting, the lows and the highs and all that good stuff. All right. So I think this looks pretty clear, pretty nice so far. After you finished with the daily, you would then move on to the 4 hour, and then you would just see levels that um you made, like this high right here, for example, 116.29. Right. And the higher the time frame, the stronger the level. Just so you guys know, so that never. So whenever everybody says it's a strong level, they probably mean it's from like a weekly or daily level, or that's what they should do. 4 hour and the 1 hours are obviously levels that are dope, but they aren't as strong as weekly and time frames. All right. Yeah, for 4 hour and the 1 hour, I would recommend coloring them in like blue or white. So you could have like any color you want, but for the daily and the daily and the weekly, they should be in white. Or at least that's how I have them, just so I could differentiate the levels and stuff, right? So this low right here is also one that stands out to me. That's 112, and it's on a 4 hour, so you could change that to blue. All right. All right, so if you just keep two colors, one for the weekly and daily and one for the 4 hour and all the intraday time frames, you're not gonna be getting as confused, right? Yeah, it's pretty much it for Peloton right now. You could include this high if you want, 113.98. Yeah, color it in blue just so that you could differentiate. All right. Peloton, we're done. Any questions with Peloton and how I got these levels, guys? Anyone want me to go over the process again? Do you set a minimum amount of touches to make a level, or just like 2 or more? So with the weekly time frame, so when I'm on the weekly or the daily time frame, something like this, I think it only touched no, it actually touched 3 times. So I like to go further back in time. So like I don't want to start from here. I want to start from where it goes back, because history repeats itself, right? So whatever is here, it's most likely going to come and retest. So I don't look at these candles when I'm doing the weekly. At least when I'm starting, I would start looking at these first and then move on to where the price action's right now, just because history repeats itself. Okay. But yeah, 2 or more touches, the more touches, the better, right? But I'd say if you could see 2 touches, that's a level right there. But the more touches, the bigger the stronger the level is. Okay. So here we had, for this 119.14 level, we had 1, 2, 3, and right now it's retesting. So we have 4, and then not even including the back then. So yeah, so the more tests or the more wicks, the better, right? Where's the DK and G? Clear drawings. All right, you'd start on the weekly time frame as well. You would get the clear levels, like the highs right here, so 64.19. 64.19 right off the bat, right? Anything that you see clear right away is a level, right? So something like this, it's very clear. Just put it right away. That way you forget about it, okay? We have also this low that's very clear, 57.9, right? And right now it broke it, because right now we're at 57.83. So it's dancing right around this 57.9, and it's a very strong level on the weekly time frame, okay? We had it trying to break multiple times before, and then when it broke, it made a nice $6 move, right? And then you have to look for downside levels, right? So something like this right here, the high of this nice green candle is 55.7. So that's another level. So what you're basically saying is that once it breaks 57.9, my next strong level is 55.7. Okay. It doesn't have to obviously happen as a day trade. It's just a level, just so you have it there, right? And then we're gonna move on to the daily, where we dig deep into the levels a bit more. All right. We also have we could include this low right here, 58.64 as another level. And right now, let's say DK and G, if we could, if we're zooming in on the 5-minute right now, right? Right now it's right at this 57.9. Let's say it does break below that, like as it did right now, and it's starting to consolidate a bit. You could enter the trade have this level as your stop loss, which is like about a 70-cent move. And then levels for downside, we're gonna get them from the weekly right now. So another level could be this right here, but it mainly held the EMA, so I'm not gonna include that level for now. You see how it held on this candle right here, the held the 9 EMA, so it's not really a level that I want to add. It was more of an EMA level. Once I feel like I'm done, I just move on to the daily time frame, and I'd see what I'm looking at next. All right, so I do see this as a low right here, 57.21. All right, and that's a strong level from the daily, 57.21. It does look a bit bearish right here, the stochastic crossing, showing a decrease in momentum. I'll be covering the stochastic a bit more later on, but could be a nice swing to the downside. Nice volume as well, not bad. All right, we also have to the upside, we could include this wick right here, high of 59.45. 59.45. You could also include, you know, everything here. I don't really like. I wouldn't trade it in here, but I would put this level here, the low 60.77. But yeah, DKNG does look pretty nice. Just have your stop loss. You know your max risk. I didn't do that when I was on my 1K account. I actually I didn't manage my risk on it, and I oversized. I didn't follow my risk management plan, and so I took a nice hit. All right. What else could you put from here? I think the 4-hour looks pretty nice for now. All our levels are matching up. And then when you're just day trading it, this is how you would day trade it, right? So let's say it's at open and it's breaking below your level. First of all, at 9:30, it held a 60.77 level, and then it broke below. You would probably enter for puts, right? Have your profit target right here. But first of all, we needed to determine a stop loss. We could have had our stop. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right. A nice stop we could have had. Let's get it from the daily, just so that it's a strong level. All right. A nice stop that we could have had could have been this right here. This slow where it created it as a support, and then later on it created as a resistance. So 61.34. All right. You could have also had another this high right here when it gapped up, 62.67. Right. And you guys notice how I didn't chart any of these levels right here above 65, because like anywhere above 65 going on to 75 right now, because we're trading in the 55 to 60 range, and there is no reason to really look at the 70s if we're trading in the 50s, right? Obviously, once it reaches the 60s, and right now I have no levels above 64.19, then yeah, I would be looking to chart some levels above. But yeah, that's how you would play it, right? So you would have 60.77 stop loss right here, right? So you would be risking about 60 cents to potentially make $1.26. So risk to reward wise, it's nice. Has, the potential is there, but right now looking at it, you'd be risking 72 cents to potentially make 72 cents, 70 cents as well. So it's like, a 1-to-1, not the best probability. You don't really have an edge here because it's a 1-to-1, right? You're risking $1 to make $1. So, you probably take this trade with very low size if you can take it. All right. Any questions so far, guys? Does like everything I'm talking about make sense? Any chance you can turn on noise in the background? Oh, there's some noise in the background. Yeah, give me a second. Sorry, Trent. My roommate is having a little bit too much fun here. All right. All right. Any questions so far about going from like the higher time frames onto the smaller time frames and everything we just talked about? Really, any questions about that, or anything you need more? Anything you want me to go over it a bit more? If not, I'll just go on to another stock and or maybe I could just analyze my UPS trade that I took today and why it didn't work out. Or right. So what I was thinking on UPS was this right here, where it forms this this pattern, but it didn't work out. Right, it didn't work out as I wanted it to. But I had my entry. I'll be showing you guys. I'll be showing it to you guys more in depth. But I had my entry right here on this red candle. Right, I saw this doji and then I saw a shooting star. So after an uptrend, so I was like, potential reversal, right? And right at a strong level too. It seems like it bounced off the EMA, right? And I had my stop loss right here. So I did have my stop loss in place, so that was the good part. The bad thing is I didn't manage my size, right? I just went in with a nice number of contracts, and risk to reward wise, it was pretty nice because I was gonna have my stop loss right here, and that would have been a 75-cent move. But my first profit target was $1.15 away, and it would probably be this low pre-market low, and that's like $1.30. So risk to reward wise, it was nice. It's just that I didn't manage my size, and I I caught my risk. I caught my position right here. I believe it was this green candle after the break of that bull flag. I cut it right here. So it was a nice place to cut. But for next time, I just need to make sure that I stick to my risk management plan and so that I don't take that nice of a loss again, right? And after we could see, this is why stop losses are important, right? If I kept holding, look how much it ran after it hit my stop loss. It ran $2.40 after it hit my stop loss, right? So I would have got screwed if I kept holding. But something nice I could have also done that I did do on my main account though was to take this as calls. I took it on my main account, but I just didn't do it on my small account because I didn't want to waste my buying power. And pretty much I had pretty much no buying power to use, so there was no point, right? And but that's why stop losses are important. I I was able to stick to my plan, but I just wasn't able to stick to my risk management plan, right? If I stuck to my risk management plan, I probably would have got the call side because I would have had some money. But you just take it and learn and move on to the next trade. How do you edit drawings like the color? All right, so you would go onto the level with the pen, right? So you would just go to the level you want to edit. Let's say you want to edit this 176.8. You could either left click 2 times, right? Or you could just right click on it on the level that you want, and then you go to edit properties. Once you edit properties, you're just going to go to the color aspect and you're going to change the color of it, whatever color you want. And then you press OK and it would save. All right. Nice question. I don't think I missed any other questions, but edit drawings on TOS just right. Yeah, okay. He basically is covering what I'm saying, so thank you. But yeah, UPS did have a nice move. I was early in the morning, right? It was 20 minutes in the market. So 20 minutes in the market is still pretty early to determine a direction, but it's all good. We just take it on and move on to the next trade, guys. All right. Any other questions or trades you guys want me to go over? JAMIA. All right, so I don't have levels on this, so I just go to the 3-year weekly. Start from there. It seems like back then there was also levels, so I just want to put this high right here just so it's there. I know we're not trading near it, but it was too obvious for me not to include. Okay. There's this low as well that it created as mini support 32.71. Okay. You also have, all right, so you see how 32.71 from, and this was back in 2019. Right now it's acting as support as well. That's why going back in time and making those levels from history, it's gonna help you right now when you're taking trades. All right. You could include the close on this candle, which is 35.15. $35.15. You also got, you could include this high right here of 40.9. All right. You anything else on the weekly that you see? I'm not gonna go above 40 for now. Yeah, it's only $4, but it seems like this stock doesn't move much unless there's like some hype with it. But you could include the slow right here if you want, 38.05. All right, once you're done with the weekly, you move on to the daily, right? And you would just be digging deeper into these right now. And it seemed like today it tested the 35.15 and it created it as support again. All right, you could have this low right here, 36.18. And it's right around 36.18. Seems like it's holding below it. Yeah, 36.18. Move on to the 4-hour. I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, there isn't much I'm missing. I'd probably create alert below 35.15 on this. Right. I'd be looking to take this trade. 4-hour, we could have this low as mini support, 33.6. And I'm gonna color it as blue just so I know it's not the strong level. 33.6. And if we calculate it risk to reward wise, I'd be risking $1 and some change for $1.50. So it's about a 1.5 to 1 risk reward. Does have a nice setup. However, also watch the upside on it. You could have this high right here as a move to play for the upside, 36.98. Right, you could take this level right here as a level to play for the upside, and make sure it's blue. Right, and you'd be risking, if you can take this play, you'd be risking 85 cents to potentially make $1.12. I mean, it's not the best risk to reward, but you know, it's there. All right, guys. Any questions about how I'm charting it and anything you guys don't understand about that, or any questions or comments or concerns? Doesn't make sense? All right, good. All right, cool. So I'll be also covering later on the more in depth on understanding the price action and the psychology behind these levels and all of that. So you know, we're gonna be doing that soon, probably either later this week or next week, depends on when I'm next. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed this.
Thanks,
I'll be,
Sniper. That was a good lesson.
All right, thank you. Let me stop share.